Kennedy Space Center is located roughly an hour from Orlando, Florida. And if you're visiting and want to spend a day here and are curious what you can and should see in a day, you're on the right video here on Travel Tricks. Before I get started, thank you for watching this video and subscribe to my channel, as I'm always sharing tricks to help you make your next vacation the best one yet. Kennedy Space Center is a dream for fans of all ages that enjoy the quest to reach outer space. They are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 days a week. To get here, you can buy your tickets when you arrive. There's areas you can get them from the ticket machines available. But I'd recommend getting them online in advance, as the lines to get in do grow quickly. When you arrive at the center, you'll be greeted by NASA's historic countdown clock. Make sure to get a picture of this. This clock was used back in 1969. Not only was this used for the countdown of the first launch of the Apollo 12, but for all Apollo and Space Shuttle missions. If you have any questions, feel free to visit the Information Center. There's also brochures with information of all the tours going on. There's also several signs along your journey here with reminders of everything you can do. And there's a lot. And it all depends on what you're most interested in. In a day, you can see a lot here. And I'll go over the best pathway to see some of the most iconic things you can do here. Everything I'll be showing you comes with your paid admission. Number 1 is, once you get into the Kennedy Space Center, go straight towards the bus tours. If I can help you with anything here, this is the most important trick I can share with you when you're here, especially if you're visiting for one day. The bus tour will take you to the Apollo Saturn V Center, known as Race to the Moon. A must-see, but the bus tour is here and 2.5 hours before the park closes, so best get in line to see this right away. To get to the bus tours, just walk straight ahead. As you notice, once I got here, the lineups were already outside the entrance. The line will move. In fact, I got on the first buses available. Once you're on your bus, you get a relaxing seat, and eventually you'll pass by the Vehicle Assembly Building. It's the tallest building in the USA, outside an urban area. Its purpose is to assemble space vehicles. Past vehicles included the Apollo Saturn V and the Space Shuttle program, and they stack these space vehicles vertically onto a mobile launcher platform to prepare for their missions. Once you arrive at the Apollo Saturn V Center, you'll see a doorway. Entering inside, you'll have a presentation of NASA's journey to space that would eventually see a man walk on the moon. After this, you get to sit in the actual firing room 1, the way it looked during the launch of Apollo 8, blasting atop a Saturn V rocket on December 21st, 1968. Here, they recreate the moment with video. Flashing lights off the control panels. Your senses are put to the test re-watching this amazing moment. After the firing room, the doors open up and you enter the room at the Kennedy Space Center. You'll come across the main attraction here, a real Saturn V rocket. In fact, one of only 3 in the world. It makes the experience even more special. The Saturn V is the tallest, heaviest, and most powerful rocket ever flown. The Saturn V was 363 feet tall. That's about 60 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. That's tall. The Saturn V rocket was used in the Apollo program in the 1960s and 70s, and it was also used in the launch for the Skylab space station. There's so much to explore here, from a piece of a moon rock collected during the Apollo 12 mission, and yes, you're allowed to touch it, to actual rare and incredible pieces of history, which includes medals, prototypes, and training gear, right down to a moon dust covered spacesuit, worn by Alan Shepard. to the Apollo 14 crew capsule. All of these can be seen in the Treasures Gallery. And they have an Astrovan, a NASA vehicle used to transport astronauts to the launch pad before a mission. This one was used for 19 missions from Apollo to the Skylab and the first 5 space shuttle missions. There's a statue of Dr. Harrison Hagen Schmidt, the only professional scientist and 12th person to ever have walked the moon. If you want to relive the Apollo 11 moon landing, the Lunar Theater recreates that historic day in July 1969 with first account stories from the astronauts themselves. The Apollo Saturn V Center is full of historical memorabilia, and you can find yourself completely immersed in this trip of memory lane. You don't want time to be restricted and looking at your clock. You can just see how amazing it is. This is the value of coming here first. The exhibit is so amazing. If you're a space lover like myself, you want to take in everything here, especially if you're coming in for one day. I'm not going to show in detail everything here because I want you to enjoy the experience for yourself. I do want to mention the Kennedy Space Center is wheelchair friendly, and if you need to go to the bathroom, that's taken care of. If you want to stay and grab a bite to eat, that's taken care of here as well. And don't forget to take a piece of this moment home by getting something at the gift shop. There's lots to choose from and make great gifts for others. Going outside, you can enjoy having a bite to eat or just relax your feet on a beautiful day in Florida. It's nice to have choices. If you continue to walk down the path outside to the right, you'll come across an entrance with a sign that says, "Welcome to Moon Tree Garden." The moon trees were planted here to represent a crewed Apollo mission. These trees are descendants from the original moon trees that were grown with seeds by astronaut Stuart Roosa and carried to the moon on Apollo 14. And the gardens figure was created to represent the spacecraft's slingshot trajectory it took to the moon. This life-size bronze sculpture is of the Apollo 11 crew, Mike Collins, Neil Armstrong, and Buzz Aldrin, a tribute to the Apollo program's accomplishments. The Apollo Saturn V Center also has a launch viewing area to watch a live rocket launch to outer space. You can see the launch from the bleachers provided here. It gives an incredible view of the Banana Creek launch viewing area. Or take a seat on the grass or tables provided to enjoy this experience. If you don't have a car, launch transportation may require a ticket above daily admission if it's outside normal operating hours. If not, then it's on a first-come, first-served basis. You can look online to see when the next launch is, and maybe you'll be here to see it. Once you pass the Moon Tree Garden, you'll be back at the bus stop where you started. Buses are coming and going every 15 minutes, so your wait time here won't be too long. Before you know it, you're back at the main visitor complex. From here, I'd highly suggest walking towards the tall, full-scale space shuttle stack of 2 solid rock boosters and an orange external tank. Once you pass by this mammoth piece of spacecraft, you will come across some doors. This will take you to what is called Shuttle, a ship like no other, and that is referencing to the #1 attraction here. You will encounter a lineup to get in, but the lines do move fast, and before you know it, you'll be in a large room with a big group, and you'll see a film all about the aviation journey, what would become the Space Shuttle. And like a grand opening, you'll be welcome to see the Space Shuttle Atlantis. This Space Shuttle is rotated to 43.21 degrees with the payload doors wide open, as if it just undocked from the International Space Station. This shuttle completed 33 missions between 1985 and 2011, including flying 7 missions to dock with the Russian space station. It helped in the construction and population of the International Space Station, and in the end, the Space Shuttle Atlantis completed over 126 million miles in 307 days in space. You will notice a Canaarm extended. This is officially called a Shuttle Remote Manipulator System, or SRMS, that was used on a space shuttle to deploy, maneuver, and capture payloads. There is a lot to see here. If you're bringing your kids, they will love to climb and crawl aboard the ISS. Here they can check out and experience what life in space is like in an International Space Station. There's many interactive models here to learn and see what it's like to go to space. Kids love touching the buttons. There's lots going on here. I won't go into everything because I want you to see it for yourself. But being here is worth it. Just seeing the Atlantis this close up is incredible. I do want to mention the shuttle launch experience because this simulation is amazing. Adding a trick to help you out, you pick a line. If you're with someone, get in the same line. This way, when you sit in the space shuttle simulator, you'll be together. Once in and you're strapped, you'll have your senses tested to the limits as you experience 8.5 minutes ascending into orbit. NASA astronauts say it's the next best thing to flying aboard the space shuttle. After this, you will approach a spiral descent down to the bottom floor. But I found this experience special. With the stars above and the rotating Earth below, you can see every one of the 135 missions of the Space Shuttle Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, and Atlantis as you reach the floor below. From here, you'll be able to enjoy interactive modules like working with your robotic arm or docking with the space station. And see firsthand space shuttle history with this Astrovan NASA vehicle used to transport astronauts to the launch pad before a mission and for launch dress rehearsals. They even have the tunnel adapter truss assembly on display. This was used in a total of 21 missions to give astronauts access to the payload bay in case they needed to close the doors manually. And there's Forever Remembered. NASA and the 14 families of the crews of both the Challenger in 1986 and Columbia in 2003 have come together to create a new and permanent memorial designed to honor the astronauts and to help bring awareness how important it is to learn from the past. Nearly 2,000 square feet, the memorial contains the largest personal items of both flight crews and recovered hardware from both the Challenger and Columbia shuttles, such as a section of Challenger's left body from the space shuttle with the American flag, and the framework of Columbia's flight deck windows. There's also a gift shop here with some unique space shuttle gifts to purchase for all ages. And again, there's so much here, you'll find a gift for everyone. Once you've finished seeing the space shuttle exhibit, you've seen a huge part of NASA history. You'll start seeing a number of places to see. One that you will pass is the Mars Rover Vehicle Navigator, or MRVN. This is the newest concept vehicle that's been created to meet the needs and demands of driving on the planet Mars. For a new generation of astronauts, this concept is about having a vehicle that you can drive on Mars that comes with a high-tech mobile laboratory included, with massive wheels designed to handle the rough terrain of dunes, rocks, and craters. Visitors can get a close-up view of this amazing machine. On the topic of Mars, I highly recommend seeing the show Journey to Mars. Since man has walked on the moon, the idea of going to planets is always a dream, and that dream is a mission that many at NASA want to turn into a reality. At Journey to Mars, they go over the dream and plans to explore deep space, including Mars, asteroids, and once again the moon. This incredible exhibit highlights what is happening at NASA this very moment with interactive games, simulators, and explore replicas of Mars rovers, which is a real treat. This place is educational and highly entertaining, definitely worth a visit. Close by at the Universe Theater, you can come inside, grab a seat, enjoy a rare opportunity that is free with your paid admission, and that's to meet a veteran NASA astronaut in a show called Astronaut Encounter. In this program, may it be commanders, pilots, mission and payload specialists, these heroes share their lives and experiences before a live audience. And if you have any questions, there's also a question and answer session. You can also visit the Astronaut of the Day at the Space Shop or Shuttle Express gift shop for his or her autograph. Always check the daily schedule upon arrival for show times and autograph opportunities. Another must-see is at Heroes and Legends. Here, you can reminisce about the thrills and dangers around America's earliest space missions and take this journey designed to both spark and reflect about how humans define a hero. You will see real pieces of aviation history with a Redstone rocket raised high above, or check out the Gemini 9 capsule, which was the 7th crewed Earth orbiting mission of the Gemini series. There's Gus Grissom's Mercury spacesuit, and the flag flown on the first crewed space flight in 1961, and on the 100th space flight in 1995. You'll see the world's largest collection of astronauts' personal memorabilia on display for you to see, who have also been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Row upon row of men and women who have given sacrifice and honor. You can see them all here, along with the statue of Alan Shepard, the first American in space and the 5th person to walk on the moon. There's a number of exhibits to explore, such as the Rocket Garden. There are 15-minute tours several times in the day. This is one of the most photographed attractions here. To witness a rocket garden is to walk among giants. Most of these rockets are real, just never flown in space. The rocket that you see on the side is called the Saturn 1B. It launched Apollo 7, the first crewed mission of the Apollo program. This rocket is the last remaining intact and left in existence. The blue and white rocket you see is called the Delta II. This is the first modern-era rocket to join the Rocket Garden collection. It's been in service for almost 30 years from the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs. Beside the Rocket Garden is Gateway. Here is the current and upcoming cutting-edge innovations of space exploration from NASA and commercial partners. Once you enter, you launch aboard one of the 4 journeys to distant worlds on an immersive ride to challenge your senses. There's also the IMAX Theater, the next best thing to being in space. There's several space films to enjoy, all a part of your paid admission. You just pay for your own snacks and enjoy the show. And if you're bringing your kids, there's Planet Play for ages between 2 and 12. It's an indoor interactive center for children to play on the planets. There's a number of games, fun and educational. Kids can play and parents can enjoy a coffee, wine, and the beer bar in a comfortable lounge while watching their loved ones learn about space. There's a number of places to eat, and sit and enjoy your space experience at the Kennedy Space Center. And before you go, check out the Space Shop, as the sign out front says, is the world's largest. And there is a large amount of choices to purchase and take home from here. There's something for all ages. The shop has 2 floors, and that orange bridge is the real platform the astronauts walked to enter the Apollo 11. You can buy toys, real meteorites, shirts, kids' clothes, souvenirs. It's all here. If you just want to browse, you'll be entertained what is in here. Kennedy Space Center in a day has so much going on. If you see the Apollo Saturn V first, then the Space Shuttle, everything else will give you the time for what you want to see, because I wouldn't want you to miss anything. Thank you for watching this video. If you're staying in Disney Springs and want to come to Kennedy Space Center, I'll give you options by checking this video. And check out my other videos by subscribing to my channel, Travel Tricks, as I'm always sharing tricks to help you make your next vacation the best one yet. Thank you.